right, here we go. We're going to start with awareness, and there's three main things we're going to remember. It's stay connected with your center backs, find and mark the danger player, and then control the ball, then decide, right? Control the ball, then decide, not panicking. So we're going to talk about those three things. We'll give you a bunch of examples here. Number one, most important, stay connected with your center backs. As an outside back, the gap between you and your closest center back has to be 10, 12 yards, right? There's occasions where it will be bigger than that, but it needs to be tight. If there's a player on the outside of you, go ahead and let him be out there. The danger players are in the middle, and we'll see that here. The other thing we'll see a lot of is tracking, quickly reacting, and not allowing the player you're marking to run past you into the box. So let's watch this. We're going to be focusing on this player right here, the outside left back. The ball's going to come through the middle. You'll see what happens, but I want to show you some good things that happen here, and then we'll talk some more.
Good job, Bubba.
Just tracking. Watch how he defends. Very patient, keeps him in front of him. Now he doesn't track, and the player runs past him. Okay, so let's watch again, and I'll pause it. So turnover. All right, he closes the player down. I love this. He closes him down. We're going to go a little bit slower. Closes him down. He makes him stay in front of him, gives his players a chance to get back into position. There he is, patient, slow, patient. Now, after the ball is passed, watch what happens. The player who passed the ball runs past him. Watch the defender. Staring at the ball, right? Staring at the ball. The problem with that, of course, is that makes you blind to anything else. So you can see this guy just ran from here around backside of him. Here he is, unmarked. Didn't turn out to be a problem in this case because they lost the ball, but that's a problem. Okay, track your player, be aware. That's the number one. In this clip, you're going to see the ball is down here on the bottom left side. The player we're watching is here, the left back. Watch as the ball advances down the left side. I want you to pay attention to the gap between the center back and the outside left back. Okay, look at it. Here we are. Look how big it is. Look, that's 20, 30 yards, 30 yards, 40 yards. Okay, the ball eventually goes out of bounds. Now, question is, why would this be the case? Why is this player staying here and leaving this huge gap in the most dangerous part of the field? Why is that? Well, I think it's pretty simple. He's aware of the attacking player. He knows he's there. So he's staying wide to kind of, mark that player. Let's watch again a little faster. He checks him. He knows he's there, right? He's saying, I'm an outside back. My job is to defend the outside. Wrong. Your job is to defend against goals getting scored. So as an outside back, this is bad. You must get central. When you're tracking back, you track central. You leave this guy alone on the outside. Now you might say, well, why is that? He's going to be dangerous. He's going to be open for a ball that gets switched over the top. That's true. That's a judgment call you have to make based on what is the greater risk. The greater risk is the middle of the field. Okay. Better to close this down and let them have this outside section out here. Okay. If a guy's here and he has the ball, he's not scoring from there, most likely, but he may be able to get a cross in, and that's fine. That's a low probability of getting scored against compared to a guy here who gets a ball and he's now 1v1 into the middle. Outside backs, it's okay to leave this space open on the outside and get central and stay tight with your center back. Okay, close that central area down. Second half, they've switched sides, and this player is now playing at right back. Here he is right here. Keep an eye on that. So this one I want to show as a great example of some relentless physical 1v1 defending. It's really, really good. Watch this player here. It's like a honey badger. Where's the ball? Physical. His body's on him. He's fighting for it. He loses it. He gets back, wins the ball, wins it again. Excellent. Plays the release pass. Really, really good. You can see he never quit. He wasn't afraid of putting his body in there. And if he lost it, he got back. Here you have the outside back has done a nice job. They just came from an attacking play. One thing that this player does really, really well is he gets forward. He gets forward to support the attacking play. I love it. Just a couple minutes before this, he did a combination play on the right, got all the way to the end line and crossed the ball back. It's wonderful. That's your modern attacking outside back. That's what you want. Here, though, I'm going to complain because once he was attacked, now the ball is turned over, and you can see the ball's over on this side. You can't see it; it's off screen. You'll see what happens. I want you to watch this player and this player, and see what happens when the ball is turned over. Okay, here we go. Watch him. You see it? Okay. What just happened was now this player is caught staring at the sun, right? He's staring at the ball again, which makes him blind to the players that are going to be that he's supposed to be tracking back and defending against. So if you watch this blue player is 20 yards behind him at the beginning of the play. And by the end of the play, he's ahead of him. See him? There he goes. There he goes. And right here, you can see he's out of position. He's behind this player. So if this ball is played properly into space, this player wins the race every time. Now this defender's pretty tenacious, so he'll probably get back, but that all started because he did not track back properly. He kind of jogged. So if you see this, here it is. Let's watch it slow-mo one more time. He's just not even looking at him. He's only looking at the ball. It's not until he's passed him that he notices. Okay, and here comes the pass. Now he also recovers and wins the ball here. So that's good. Okay, defenders, you must track back. You must be aware of the ball. Do not stare at the ball. It's like the sun. It will make you blind if you stare at it. The next couple are going to be examples of how important it is to be patient, to control the ball, then decide what to do with it. There's a tendency, particularly with young players, to panic and to do the first thing they think of, or even worse, make one-touch passes when they don't have to. One-touch passing should be done very rarely and almost never in the middle of the field. It happens, but really, truly, two touches will let you control the ball first, then check your options, make your decisions. The chances of retaining possession on a two-touch play rather than one-touch play is much, much higher. So we'll watch this here. This is a play where, again, the player has tracked back. He wins the ball that comes across. But let's pay attention and see, does he have time to control it and then turn? Right here. Could he control that with his left foot? Take a touch and then play it out. Well, let's look at where the space is. Check this out. Is there any pressure on him from behind? No. Okay. This player's the closest, but he's running that way. He's not going to be able to get back in time. So if he could trap the ball, look what's in front of him. All the time and all the space in the world. Don't panic. Control the ball first, then decide what to do. So you can see here, he one touches it, and it becomes kind of awkward, and then the ball's turned over again, right? It doesn't have to be that way. There's another quick example of panicking and reacting rather than being in control and being patient. So you're going to see, here's the player right here. It's a little hard to see, but he's right behind the referee. The ball's going to bounce, and he's going to come flying in as he should to put pressure on it, wins the ball first, but he panics and just kind of flicks his foot out. Take a look. He gets there first. That's really, really good. Puts the pressure on. Now, what if when he gets here, he just controls it? What if he just takes a touch with his right foot? Well, let's back out. Where is his next good option if he can control the ball? Take a look. Here's a player, his center midfielder, who's wide open. And see the space, okay? This is a really good option. Here's another really good option. Straight ahead into the striker. Both really good options if he can calm himself, take one touch to control the ball, then assess and play it. I know it feels like that slows things down, but truly, a touch to control and then a smart decision will make the play move a lot faster than a panicked one-touch pass. Here's a good example of him doing the right thing, but it doesn't quite come off, but there's a lesson to be learned here. So here he is at the top of your screen here, the outside back. He does a really nice job of staying wide. That's something that he does all the time. He's very aware when we have the ball, when his team has the ball, he gets wide and makes himself available. So you see the center back here has gotten the ball on a dropped pass. He's going to turn and play a ball wide. It's really good. His first touch and second touch kind of let him down, but the lesson will follow after that. So let's take a look. Comes across, tries to control it, kind of bumps up on him. Tough pass right there. Okay. Here's the lesson. In this part of the field, in this middle third, when you're starting to build up play, retaining possession is absolutely paramount. It has to be the most important thing. Hitting a killer pass or making a killer dribble, those things are not even close to as important as retaining possession. Why? Because you're the defender and you're now the playmaker. You have players coming at you. You have 8 of your players are up here. Like, look, almost all your players are in the attacking half. So if you lose the ball here in the middle third, look behind you. You got 1 player behind you plus the goalkeeper. So this is a really important part of the field to be calm, really calm and focused on your touch. If you run into trouble, if your first touch is a little bouncy, can you get your body around and just shield someone instead of dribbling? Could you just shield, buy yourself a minute, and then maybe play the ball backwards? Let's watch. His first touch is a little bouncy. His second touch is a little hard. Right here, when he knows the ball is about to get a little bouncy, doesn't quite control it. What if he just rotates his body around and faces backwards, right? What if he shields this ball from the player who's coming to press him? What would that do? Well, I'll tell you what it would do. It would buy him a minute for this player to get close, for this player to drop in. And now instead of facing 2 defenders going this way, he's facing backwards where guess what? In the worst case, he could launch a 40-yard pass back to his goalkeeper, right? If that's the worst that happens, great. We keep possession and you build up again from the back, right? Much better than to turn the ball over here by trying to be maybe too forward focused, too aggressive going forward. So good thing he does track back really hard, but by then the damage is done. So let's take a peek. This is marking the danger player. This is decision time. So here's our outside back. The ball is turned over on the right side here. The blue team is going to be going down and on the right and looking for a cross. As this progresses, watch this player making a run and this player making a run, and watch what the center back does. Center back watching the ball, drifting towards the ball, drifting towards the ball, drifting towards the ball. Now look, if this cross gets over, right, gets past the defenders into the middle of the box, this guy is completely unmarked in acres of space, completely unmarked. He is obviously the most dangerous player in the box. Center back should be paying attention there. He's not, he's staring at the ball. Fine, that happens. Then it's the outside back's job to identify the danger and to close it down. This guy, yeah, he's going to have to make a decision. Outside back says, this guy is here, but I can't mark 2 players. I have to get central. He must get goal side and about 8 yards to the side of his center back and take this guy out of the equation. That is his job, okay? Not to worry about the outside player. It's a judgment call, right? That's what you have to do. Find the most dangerous player and mark him. Here, the ball has been played through by the blue player. He's not going to catch it. It's going to go back to the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper is going to clear it out. Here's what I want you to pay attention to. Watch what the outside back's doing, okay? Watch his eyes, watch where he goes, and then watch for the gap, right? Remember, we've been talking about the gap and paying attention to the danger area. So take a look. Watch him. Here he is. He's looking away. He doesn't even know where the ball is. He's looking at the bench. He's looking at the bench. So by the time he starts to turn his head around, the ball has been turned over and they're counterattacking. Now, why does that matter? Well, let's take a look. Where's the gap between him and his center back? 30 yards. 30 yards. Okay, and not just is the gap a problem, but the fact that there's attacking players coming right into this gap, that's a problem. So again, paying attention all the time and staying connected to your center back. Now let's watch what happens. By the time he notices, he's like, oh my gosh, I got to run back. And let's look at the gap again. The ball is passed. By the time the ball is passed, he's got 1, 2, 3 players that are all attacking this space, right, where he should be. By the time he can get back, the ball's already played. So again, paying attention all the time. Don't be too eager to attack. Defend first, stay in your good shape, and then make sure that you are tracking back centrally and marking the most dangerous player, which is this player, not this player. Okay? Just one more example of how important it is to stay connected and get back into the danger area. Here's a really positive example of this player executing what we've been talking about, identifying the danger, closing the gap, and dropping centrally. Let's watch and see how he does. So here he is right here. Comes the ball. Look at him go. Okay, doesn't seem like much, but let's look at the things he did. 1, recognizes where the danger is going to be. Okay, awesome. 2, gets on his horse. He's not jogging back and he's not saying, well, I'll let that center back deal with it. 3, he wasn't distracted by this guy, the wide player. Okay, really good. And 4, his run is bent to come back and central, not running this way. So he gets goal side of this player and drops in. It's really, really good. So here we go. He recognized the danger. Watch what happens. Gets on his horse, gets inside of him, goal side, drops centrally. He's connected with his center back. Really, really good. Really good.